So, welcome to the first session of Module 3 Velocity and Acceleration Analysis by Analytical Method. So, in the previous module, that is Module 2, we have discussed about velocity and acceleration analysis of a mechanism by using graphical method. So, whereas in this module, we are going to see how to generate a equation and using that equation, how to find the displacement velocity and acceleration. So under this module, that is velocity and acceleration analysis by analytical method, so we have the majorly the analysis of IC engine mechanism and problems on analysis of IC engine mechanism, then using complex algebra method, how to solve the displacement velocity and acceleration of a given mechanism, then loop enclosure equation, Fredestein's equation. So all those things we are going to discuss in this or under this module. So the first one is analysis of a IC engine mechanism, and we know that these IC engine mechanisms are widely used in the field of mechanical engineering. So it is beneficial to express the velocity, acceleration and displacement of piston and connecting rod in the form of equation, so as to deal easily with the problems related to dynamic as well as static conditions. So analytical method, or we sometimes we call it as approximate equation method. In this method, we are going to derive the equation analytically and is used to for analysis of inertia forces in a IC engine mechanism. Okay. So now, in order to derive or in order to analyze the IC engine mechanism, let us consider an IC engine as shown in the figure. So in which OC, this OC is the crank, whereas CP is the connecting rod, and it is considered that the crank rotates with the angular velocity omega, in the clockwise direction, and it turns through an angle theta from inner dead center. So these are the two extreme points, inner dead center and the outer dead center, and this is the slider P, which slides along the line of action or line of stroke. Sometimes we call it as line of motion. Okay, so P1 represent the extreme position of this slider, and this XP represent the displacement, change in displacement of the slider. Okay, so L represent the length of the connecting rod, and here O is the fixed point, and R is the radius of the crank or length of the crank. So here R represent the length of the crank or radius of the crank in meter, and L is the small l is the length of the connecting rod, it is also in meter, and N, small n, represent obliquity ratio. So here obliquity ratio is nothing but ratio of a length of a connecting rod to the length of crank. The ratio of length of connecting rod to the length of connecting rod or length of the crank represent the obliquity ratio, and it is represented by small n. N is equals to L by R. So next one, omega. Omega represent the angular velocity of the crank in radians per second. So here in this case, it is acting in a clockwise direction. Omega, angular velocity. So next one, alpha is the angular acceleration. That is rate of change of angular velocity is nothing but angular acceleration. So here it is also acting in the same direction. Its unit is radians per second square. Next, theta. So in the figure you can see theta is the angle turned by the crank from this inner dead center. Okay, theta is the angle turned by the crank from the inner dead center. Next, phi. So this is the angle phi. Here phi represent the angle turned by the connecting rod from the line of stroke. This is the line of stroke. So when this connecting rod turns from this line of stroke, we are going to obtain the angle phi. Next, xp or x suffix p. So xp represents the displacement of a piston. So it is in meter and measured from this inner dead center to outer dead center, because so whenever this point C move from the inner dead center to outer dead center, then there is a displacement of the slider or piston takes place. Therefore xp is measured when it moves from IDC to ODC or ODC to IDC. So next one, Vp. So here Vp represent the linear velocity of the piston. Simply we call it as piston velocity of the piston. It is in meter per second. So last one is AP. So AP represent the acceleration or linear acceleration of the piston in a meter per second square. So the first parameter is we have to find the displacement of the piston. So what do you mean by displacement? So displacement is nothing but change of position of a body, right? So here in case of IC engine mechanism, in order to find the displacement of the piston, so here xp represent the displacement of the piston, correct? So in order to obtain this displacement, so here crank has to move from inner dead center to the outer dead center. So then we call that this displacement happens, especially for the slider. And in the same time, this crank OC turns through an angle theta. Okay. So now this xp can be written as, so xp is equals to P1P, because this P1P position represent the displacement of the slider. Okay. So this P1P can also be written as P1O, because with respect to fixed point we are finding P1O minus PO. P1O minus PO represent XP. Okay. So now, so this P1O, so P1O is nothing but what? L plus R, because let us assume this is slider in the position P1. Okay, let us assume the slider in the position P1. Then this C will be in the position IDC. Okay, so it would be like a straight line. It will be like a straight line. Therefore, so P1O is nothing but L plus R, total length L plus R. So whereas this PO, the PO can be written as, so here we are going to obtain the two extreme points. If I consider the total length PO, so it is nothing but PM plus OM, right? So this PO can be written as PM plus OM. Okay. So then, so here PM is nothing but what? If I consider the triangle PCM, so it is adjacent side, right? This PM is adjacent side, therefore L cos phi. PM is nothing but L cos phi, whereas OM is nothing but what? This is adjacent side, therefore I will get the cos theta, R cos theta. Okay, so in place of OM substitute R cos theta, in place of PM substitute L cos phi. Okay, so here in order to represent this displacement, so all the things should be with respect to one particular point, but here we have two terms, one is phi, another one is theta. Either the equation should be expressed in theta or phi. Okay, so first we are going to simplify this equation. So after taking this outside the bracket, it becomes L plus R, this term, whereas minus into plus minus, minus R cos theta, then minus into plus minus, minus L cos phi. Now I am going to take R and L as common. So if I take R as a common, I will get the terms 1 minus cos theta, and if I take L as a common, so I will get 1 minus cos phi. So let us call this one as equation number 5.1. Now in this figure, so CM represent what? So it is a common line for two triangles, right? CMO, for the triangle CMO. So we have a opposite side CM, whereas for the triangle CPM, CM is the opposite triangle, opposite line. Okay, so for both the triangle, this is the common line. Therefore, CM can be written as, if I consider this triangle, this is opposite side, therefore I will get sine term r sine theta. Okay, r sine theta. If I consider triangle CPM, so then this is the opposite side, therefore I will get sine term. So L sine phi. Both are equal because this is common for both the triangle. Therefore, CM can be written as r sine theta is equals to L sine phi. Now, sine phi can also be written as sine phi is equals to, so r by L into sine theta, so from the above equation. Okay, and we know that obliquity ratio, from the obliquity ratio, n is equals to L by r. Okay, n is equals to L by r, but here we have r by L. Therefore, r by L can be written as 1 by n. So in place of r by L, we can write it as 1 by n. Therefore, this equation becomes sine theta by n. Okay, so we are converting this fine term in terms of theta, because we have to express all the displacement in terms of either theta or phi. Okay, so in order to eliminate this phi term, we are converting it into theta term. So now we know that from standard trigonometric function, so sine square phi plus cos square phi is nothing but 1. Okay, so here uh, I want cos phi value, therefore cos phi can be written as from the above equation. So it is equals to root of 1 minus sine square phi. Okay, so in the previous equation, so I got sine phi as a sine theta by n. Okay, so sine phi as sine theta by n. Therefore, in place of this sine phi, I'm going to substitute sine theta by n, and we have square here, therefore whole square. Now I'm taking this square inside, therefore root of 1 minus sine square theta by n square. Now I'm going to take the fraction, therefore cos phi is equals to root of, it becomes n into n square into 1, n square minus sine square theta divided by n square. So call this one as equation B. Now I'm going to substitute the cos phi, this cos phi value in the equation number 5.1. So that is the equation consists of both phi as well as theta value. So what happens, xp is equals to r into 1 minus cos theta. So I'm not going to change this one because it is in theta only. So whereas here, so L into 1 minus cos phi. So in place of cos phi, I'm substituting root of n square minus sine square theta divided by n square. And I'm going to simplify this one. So what happens, r into, so I'm writing this one as it is 1 minus cos theta plus, so in place of L I can use n into r, because I know this obliquity ratio n is equals to L by r. L can be written as n into r, therefore in place of L I'm substituting n into r. So this is as it is from the previous equation. Now after simplifying this, so what happens, so here n get cancelled, so n get cancelled, and n into 1 it becomes n, therefore r into 1 minus cos theta plus r into, so here n into 1 n minus root of n square minus sine square theta. So call this one as equation number 5.2. So next one is velocity of a piston. So we know that a general definition of velocity is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time, right? So here the displacement is xp. So in our case displacement is xp, the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So if we differentiate this xp with respect to time, we are going to obtain the linear velocity of a piston. Okay, so if we differentiate displacement with respect to time, we are going to obtain the linear displacement of a piston. So for this equation, by using chain rule, can also be written as, so d xp divided by d theta into d theta by dt, right, by using chain rule, because this d theta and d theta get cancelled and I will get the original equation. So differentiation of xp by dt. Okay, so by using chain rule we can write like this, but we know that, so this d theta by dt is omega, because the omega is nothing but what? Angular velocity, right? Angular velocity. Rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time is nothing but angular velocity. Okay, rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time is nothing but angular velocity. So in the above equation we have d theta by dt, which is nothing but rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. So therefore here I am going to substitute omega. So omega into the remaining equation, d differentiation of xp by d theta. So we have to differentiate xp, that is displacement equation. So this is our displacement equation. So what happens if we differentiate this equation with respect to theta? So omega and r are a constant, so take it outside. So differentiate the remaining term, that is 1 minus cos theta plus n minus root of n square minus sine square theta. So the differentiation of 1 is a 0, whereas here we have minus. Differentiation of this cos theta is minus sine theta. Differentiation of cos theta is minus sine theta plus. So differentiation of this n is 0 minus differentiation of this square root. So 1 divided by 2 times of root of n square minus sine square theta into differentiation of this sine square theta, that is minus 2 times of sine theta into cos theta. Okay, since we have minus sign here, therefore minus sine square theta differentiation is 2 times of sine theta into cos theta. Okay, so this is the differentiation of this above term. Therefore after simplifying this, so omega into r, so here minus into minus plus, therefore plus sine theta plus, then we have 2 sine theta into cos theta, which is nothing but sine 2 theta. Okay, so in place of 2 sine theta into cos theta, directly I am writing sine 2 theta. Therefore it becomes sine 2 theta, and here sine is positive because here we have negative and negative, so minus into minus plus, then remaining term in the denominator 2 times of root of n square minus sine square theta. Okay, so like this we can differentiate. So the next one is, we know that the length of the connecting rod should be always greater than unity. Okay, length of the connecting rod should always be greater than unity. Therefore obviously the obliquity ratio should also be greater than 1. Therefore, so the n square value is larger as compared to sine square theta. Therefore we are going to neglect this sine square theta, because this length of the connecting rod is always greater than unity. Therefore obliquity ratio is greater than 1. Therefore n square is larger compared to sine square theta. So this is the small term, therefore we are going to neglect it. So after neglecting, so what happens, this is square root of sine n square minus sine square theta. So this I'm going to neglect it, therefore it becomes only root of n square. So this square root and square get cancelled, I will get only n. Therefore this is the velocity of the piston. So Vp is equals to omega into r sine theta, here sine 2 theta divided by 2 times of n. So this is the velocity of a piston. So let me call this one as equation number 5.3. So next one is acceleration of piston. So generally we calculate the acceleration of a piston, or acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity with respect to time. right? Rate of change of velocity with respect to time is nothing but acceleration. So in our case, we have already uh, derived the equation for velocity. So by differentiating that velocity with respect to time, we are going to obtain the acceleration of a piston. So therefore acceleration of a piston is equals to differentiation of this velocity with respect to time. Okay, so this differentiation gives the acceleration of a piston. So by using chain rule, we can write this equation like this: differentiation of Vp by d theta into d theta by dt, because these two terms get cancelled and I will get the original equation. Now we know that omega is nothing but what? Rate of change of displacement with respect to time, angular displacement with respect to time. Therefore in place of d theta by dt, we can write omega. So omega is equal into a remaining term, that is differentiation of Vp with respect to d theta. Okay, so now I'm going to substitute Vp value. So what happens? Omega into d differentiation with respect to d theta, d theta into omega into r into sine theta plus sine 2 theta by 2n. So this is Vp value. This is Vp value. So we are differentiating this Vp value with respect to d theta. Okay. Now I will take this omega and r. Both are constant. I will take it outside. Therefore, it becomes omega square into r. Then differentiate this inside term. So differentiation of sine theta plus sine 2 theta by 2n, and we are going to assume that omega is constant. So first we are going to assume that omega is constant, or it is rotating with the uniform angular velocity. Okay, so because we don't know whether the crank is rotating with a uniform angular velocity or not, so that's why in the first case we are assuming that it is rotating with uniform angular velocity. Therefore omega is equals to constant. So what happens in the above equation if we consider omega as a constant? So it will come out from the differential equation. Therefore omega square into r, then differentiation of this sine theta is cos theta, then differentiation of this sine 2 theta is cos 2 theta into 2 and divided by 2n. So here this 2 and 2 get cancelled, and these are the remaining terms: omega square into r cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n, cos 2 theta by n. So this is the acceleration equation if we consider the crank is rotating with uniform angular velocity. So the second case is, suppose if the crank is not rotating with a uniform speed, or it is rotating with a non-uniform speed, then what happens? Omega is not a constant one, so it is changing with respect to time. Now the change of acceleration, the rate of change of acceleration is written as alpha is equals to d omega by dt, so which is in radians per second square. So here alpha represent what? Angular acceleration. The rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time is nothing but angular acceleration. Therefore from equation C, so from equation C we can write acceleration of piston is equals to omega into differentiation of uh, this velocity terms with respect to theta. So now, so here we cannot take this omega outside because omega is not constant here, it is changing with respect to time. Therefore we cannot take this omega from outside this differential term. Therefore we have to differentiate this in u into v form. So we have to differentiate this in u into v form. So we are differentiating this one in u into v form. So what happens? The above equation, uh, the differentiation becomes u that is nothing but omega. Then differentiation of this term sin theta is cos theta, sin 2 theta becomes 2 cos 2 theta divided by 2n. Then we have to keep this one constant, that is u sin theta plus sin 2 theta by 2n. So we are not differentiating this u term. Now differentiating the v term. So we are differentiating this v term. Therefore d differentiation of omega with respect to d theta. And we know that alpha is nothing but what? The rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. So here in place of d omega by d theta, we can represent it by alpha. Okay. So but d omega by d theta. So here we have d omega by d theta. So by chain rule, this d omega by d theta can also be written as d omega by dt into dt by d theta, right? Because dt and dt get cancelled, I will get the original equation. Now d omega by dt is nothing but alpha. So here in place of this I will substitute alpha, whereas dt by d theta. So d theta by dt is nothing but omega, but we have only here we have the reverse condition, that is dt by d theta. Therefore we can write 1 by omega. So therefore in place of d omega by d theta we can write alpha by omega. So here in place of d omega by d theta we can write alpha by omega. Okay, so the above equation becomes, so the remaining terms I will write as it is, whereas in this place I will substitute alpha by omega. Alpha by omega. So therefore, so after multiplying this omega into r to this entire equation, the above equation becomes r into omega square into cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n plus uh, this r into alpha sin theta plus sin 2 theta by 2n. Call this one as equation number 5.5. So this is the acceleration equation for piston when the velocity changing with respect to, or the velocity of the crank is not uniform. So the next important term is angular velocity of connecting rod. So what do you mean by angular velocity? The rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. Rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time is nothing but angular velocity. So we are going to consider few terms under this angular velocity, and we know that omega is angular velocity of crank. So that is rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. Then omega c represent angular velocity of connecting rod. So the d phi by dt, because the phi is the angle turned by the crank with respect to line of motion. Then alpha is the angular acceleration of a crank. So that can be obtained by differentiating this angular velocity with respect to time. Then alpha c is angular acceleration of connecting rod, that can be obtained by differentiating angular velocity of connecting rod with respect to time. Now from equation A, so we know that sin phi can be written as sin theta by n, correct? So differentiating the above equation both side with respect to time. So what happens? So differentiation of this sin phi with respect to dt, and the differentiation of this sin theta by n with respect to dt. So therefore the above equation by using chain rule can also be written as differentiation of this sin phi with respect to d phi into d phi by dt, because this d phi get cancelled and I will get the same equation. And in the right hand side also by using chain rule we can write d by d theta into sin theta by n into d theta by dt, because d theta get cancelled and I will get the same equation. So d phi by dt. So what do you mean by d phi by dt? So omega c, in place of d phi by dt I will substitute omega c, whereas d theta by dt, so d theta by dt is nothing but omega, so I will substitute omega. Then differentiation of this sin phi is cos phi, and differentiation of this sin theta by n is cos theta by n. So therefore omega c can be written as omega cos theta divided by n into cos phi. So next is we are going to substitute the cos phi value in the equation b. So what happens, omega c is equals to omega cos theta divided by n into root of n square minus sin square theta divided by n. So here n get cancelled, therefore uh, omega into cos theta divided by root of n square minus sin square theta. So omega c becomes omega into cos theta divided by n. So we know that L is greater than 1. L is greater than 1, therefore sin square theta is a small value, therefore we can neglect this. So after neglecting this, so we got only n square, therefore square root and square get cancelled, I will get n. Therefore in the denominator we are going to get only n. So next one is angular acceleration of connecting rod. So what do you mean by angular acceleration? The rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. Rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time is angular acceleration. Okay, so that can be determined by, suppose I want connecting rod, no? So omega c represent the angular velocity of connecting rod. So if I differentiate this with respect to time, if I differentiate this with respect to time, gives the angular acceleration of connecting rod. So therefore differentiation of this angular velocity of connecting rod with respect to time can also be written as like this by using chain rule, that is the differentiation of omega c with respect to d theta into d theta by dt. Now this d theta by dt is nothing but omega, so we know it is omega, so I will substitute omega here. Then differentiation of this omega c with respect to d theta. So from the previous equation we got omega c is nothing but what, omega into cos theta divided by n. So we have to differentiate this equation. So what happens after differentiating this? So this is common or constant, take it outside from the differential equation. So therefore we have to differentiate only cos theta, differentiation of cos theta with respect to dt d theta. Here also we are going to consider that there are two conditions. So one is when the connecting rod is rotating with uniform angular velocity. Okay, when the connecting rod is rotating with a uniform angular velocity, therefore this omega c becomes constant. Okay, omega c becomes constant, therefore so what happens to the above equation? Alpha c is equals to omega square. It is a constant, therefore we cannot differentiate this. We cannot differentiate this. We have to keep this one outside the differential equation. Omega square into n. So differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. Differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. Therefore, this equation becomes minus omega square into sin theta divided by n. So let me call this one as equation number 5.7. So here negative sign is nothing but what? Acceleration of connecting rod is acting in such a way that it tends to reduce the angle. It tends to reduce the angle or direction of rotation of crank and connecting rod is same. Okay, that is the meaning of this negative sign. Okay, next one is, so the next one is if the angular velocity of connecting rod is non-uniform, it is not rotating with the uniform speed. So what happens? So it is not a constant. Omega c is not a constant. Therefore, we have to differentiate with respect to time. So then what happens? Let us consider the equation D again. that is omega into d theta into omega, this is omega c value, omega into cos theta by n. Now while differentiating we have to consider u into v. So this is u into v. So differentiation of u into v. So like that. So here omega and n are constant. We are keeping it outside. Then while differentiating this, so first I will take u as common. I'm not differentiating this u term. So write as it is. Then differentiation of this cos theta is a minus sin theta. So the next is plus. So I will keep this v as it is. I'm differentiating this omega. Therefore d omega by d theta. So d omega by d theta, by using chain rule, we can write d omega by dt into dt by d theta. So d omega by dt is alpha, whereas dt by d theta is 1 by omega. Therefore d omega by d theta can be written as alpha by omega. So this equation becomes omega by n. So minus omega into sin theta plus cos theta into alpha by omega. So I will multiply this omega by n. So the equation becomes, so omega into omega minus omega square into sin theta by n plus, so here omega omega get cancelled. Therefore alpha cos theta by n. So call this one as equation number 5.8. So this is the acceleration, angular acceleration equation if the connecting rod is not uniform. It is not rotating with uniform speed. So here we have tabulated all the equations. So first one is the displacement of piston, second one is velocity of piston, then two conditions of the acceleration of the piston, that is crank, when the crank is uniform and when crank is non-uniform. Then fourth one is angular velocity of connecting rod. So fifth one, again two conditions of angular acceleration of connecting rod. So we are going to use all these equation in order to solve the problems. So now let us solve a problem based on analysis of IC engine mechanism. So this is the statement of the problem. In an IC engine mechanism, the crank is 200 mm long and connecting rod is 750 mm long. When the angle turned by the crank is 60 degree from IDC, this is nothing but theta. Angular velocity of the crank is 20 radians per second, that is omega value is given, and it is increasing at the rate of 15 radians per second square. Acceleration is given. Find, first one is velocity and acceleration of piston. So we have to find velocity and acceleration of the piston. Next one is angular velocity and angular acceleration of connecting rod. So let us see how to solve this problem. So the given data, first we have to extract the given data from the given statement. So R, that is radius of the crank, or length of the crank is 200 mm. It is in millimeter, therefore after converting it into meter it becomes 0.2 meter. Then length of the connecting rod is 750 millimeter, therefore we can write this one 0.75 meter. Then angle turned is theta, which is 60 degree. Omega given, that is angular velocity is 20 radians per second, and angular acceleration given is alpha 15 radians per second square. So here we have to find one is the velocity of the, that is a linear velocity of the slider, and acceleration of the slider, angular velocity of the connecting rod, and angular acceleration of the connecting rod. So first is we have to calculate obliquity ratio and velocity of piston. So what is the formula? Obliquity ratio, small n is equals to L by R. Small n is equals to L by R. So L is 0.75 meter, or we can take this 750, no problem. And here R is 200, therefore obliquity ratio becomes 3.75. Next, to find the velocity of the piston, we know the formula Vp is equals to R into omega into sine theta plus sine 2 theta by 2n. So R is 0.2, omega is 20, and theta value is 60, and n value we got 3.75. Substitute all the values in this equation and simplify it. So after simplifying, we got velocity value Vp is equals to 3.925 meter per second. So the next one is we have to calculate acceleration of the piston, and we are going to assume that the crank is not uniform. Then acceleration of the piston is given by, so this is the formula, right? R into omega square into cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n plus R into alpha into sin theta plus sin 2 theta by 2n. So now here R value is 0.2 and omega is 20, theta value is 60, n value is 3.75 and alpha value is 15. Substitute all the values in the above equation and simplify it. So after simplifying this, so we got 32.277 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration of the piston. Okay. So in the last step, we are going to calculate angular velocity and angular acceleration of connecting rod. Okay. So angular velocity of connecting rod is given by, we know that formula omega c is equals to omega into cos theta divided by n. So omega is 20, theta is 60 degree, n is 3.75. Substitute all the values and simplify it. So after simplifying, we got 2.667 radians per second. So this is the angular velocity of the connecting rod. So in the last step, we are going to find angular acceleration of connecting rod. And we are going to consider the condition of a non-uniform rotation. The formula is alpha c is equals to minus omega square into sine theta divided by n plus alpha into cos theta divided by n. Omega value is 20, alpha value is 15, theta value is 60 degree and n is 3.75. So after substituting and simplifying this equation, we got alpha c value minus 90.376 radians per second. So here negative sign indicates both the crank and the connecting rod are rotating in the same direction. Okay, so this negative sign indicates both crank as well as connecting rod are rotating in the same direction.